Hey everybody, we are actually
Well, I've been sitting here on this dock by the bay, watching my blue skies turn to gray. Didn't know if I should run or stay, so I pulled up Mike's weather page, 'cause Mike's weather page, you know he's got the news to keep you safe. Mike's weather page is only a click or two away. Well, I admit that I had one or a few, 'cause I was down and I was feeling blue. But then I clicked on Mike's fan page. I saw all my friends now, I'm okay. 'Cause Mike's weather page, you know he's got the news to keep you safe. Mike's weather page is only a click or two away. We all know Mike's a real fun guy. He'll track the storms as they blow by. But when the drunk donkey comes out to play, Miss Julie, take his phone away. 'Cause Mike's weather page, you know he's got the news to keep you safe. Mike's weather page is only a click or two away.
Not sure what the gusts are, but
well, there's Louie and her
definitely,
no telling what they're gonna do.
I think we're
You
seeing a
know
little
he's
higher gusts.
got more than a million fans. Yeah, 'cause now Mike's weather page, you know he's got the
Trying to keep the camera from getting wet.
Mike's
Key
weather
Largo.
page
We're in the
is
eye of
only a
Ada.
click or two away. Mike's weather page, you know he's got the news to keep you safe. Mike's weather page is only a click or two away.
Yeah. Everybody say yeah. I had just enough time to run over and get Louie. And here we are. Good morning. Easter Monday, the day after Easter. Hope everybody's doing good. Ready to talk a little bit about weather. There's not a lot in the weather world. It's kind of, if you're in the south and you're in the east like I am, things are a little quiet. Quiet's good. We know that, there's my countdown timer. Strike number one. I did that weather stem video last week with Will, and I forgot to turn the microphone on. Poor guy. He was sitting there talking. I'm like, wait. Oh, man. Louie's a little sad. Hunter had to go to the vet this morning. Hunter's got a little bit of scratching going on again. I think it's pollen season, but every couple weeks or months, they have to give him a little bit of something. And he's breathing a little rough, too. I think it's allergies. He's eating and pooping. That's all I care about. Oh, me and Louie took a little golf cart ride last night. We went to Starbucks. The dang place closed at 8. I was all excited. I was going to give him one of them doggy treats. So maybe tonight we'll do that. We had a good little ride. So anyway, we're going to talk weather. My name is Mike. I'm coming to you live from Oldsmar, Florida, from the ABC Fine Wine and Spirits studio. ABC was closed yesterday, giving the employees the day off. Morning, James. What's up, Richard? KRJ. Got softball's over next week, James, and then it starts into travel ball. She's a little excited about that. She doesn't really get to hit and never played infield. Even though they listed her as an infielder, she never got to play. So she's really excited about getting back to travel ball so she can get back to her roots and get hitting again. And kind of looking forward to that. But we'll see. Where's everybody else chiming in from? We'll get into weather here in just a minute. We have our MWP chat going. All the Brew crew over there. Been talking to them. We usually go live over there at 9, 10 in the morning. Sometimes we talk a little bit more off-record stuff, especially when the season's here. And we got a good little group over there, our diehards that help support our page. Anybody can join it. Chris, yeah, thank you for watching that. We just reshared the GoFundMe. I've only shared 2 GoFundMes now. One was that family, unfortunately, during Debbie, if you remember. I don't want to get into that. And the second one was I was filming video. I don't want to get into that because it's a sad story and it's tough. Chris's one I just posted on GoFundMe. I was down there filming damages that are still there from Helene and Milton. And he walked by me and we kind of looked at each other, and turned out he had an amazing story to share, and I was very inspired by his positive attitude and what he had to go through. And then was like, you know what, let's try to help this guy out. So we're going to make sure he gets a nice little chunk of money, and hopefully we get a couple grand for him. But that's the point of that, and we are going to donate. I'd like to match it. We'll see what we get up to. Might match it, unless it's a lot of money. I don't want to announce I'm going to match it, because if it got too high. But MWP is planning on giving a big chunk to help Chris in his rebuilding of his life because of Hurricane Milton. So we'll get into that. Hey, did you see this funny picture yesterday? I forgot to share it in the morning, but it's hilarious. Yeah, this is Louis Allen. I think that's hilarious. Do you understand it? Somebody ate the bunny's butt. And the bunny said, my butt hurts. And then the other bunny, because somebody ate his ear, he says, what? Because he can't hear. I don't know, is that politically correct today? I don't know. I didn't get any hate, did I, Shelley, for sharing a chocolate joke? We eat a lot of, I didn't even eat one. I said I love Cadbury eggs. I didn't even eat one of them. I'm trying so hard to be good. God, I can still taste them though. So, hey, got some fun stuff for the next several weeks. We got a lot of hurricane expos coming up around town. First one starts this weekend. Then I got Dunedin and Palm Harbor. I'm also going to a few more around the state. But this Saturday, if you live in the area and you want to come, it's open to anybody. It's free. We got some great vendors. We have a lot of exhibits on from different counties, governments. Come check it out. A lot of free stuff they're giving away. We're also raffling off a Furman generator, compliments of Furman power equipment. So big thanks to Jason and Greg for donating that to our great little town of Oldsmar. So that starts at 10 o'clock. It's at the Nielsen building. It's a little different. It used to be at the rec center. Now it's at Nielsen, which is off of Limeball, Burger Creek Boulevard. Same thing. I will have a booth set up. Julie will be there helping. We're going to give away some swag. Excited to unofficially announce. I haven't really announced it yet, but Jim Beam and I are become partners. Come as friends, leave as family. Half of the joy that I get from Mike's Web Page anymore is meeting folks and mingling with families and you know, sharing stories along the way. And got a ton of swag that they have donated to me to give away. So come by for some of that too. And some MWP gear. And I get to do a little speech, a little seminar. I'm going to be doing a seminar. And it's going to be geared to our area and some of the impacts that we saw from Helene and Milton and things to look for this season coming up. So come on by. It's free. ABC, yeah, we had to cancel all of our meet and greets. We were really sad about that. It was just Mother Nature. So a couple more hellos. We're going to get into some stories, get into the weather. Morning, Marianne. Sarah's going to be there, Connie. Yes. My little worker. She's got this sleep in today. Now she's singing. Imagine that. I assume she's going to be there. I'm 99% sure. Mark, Mark Hall said Louis needs a cup of Folgers, and he just yawned as I read that. Oh, thank you, Joel Harrison. Appreciate it. What's up, Jay? Morning. Kara, morning. What's up, Shelly Ross? Reading your stuff there. Shelly pulled her back out. Hey, Carol from Port Aransas. How do you say that? I know it's Port Arkansas, but it's Aransas. Is it like Kansas? Aransas? Is that how you pronounce it? Port Aransas? Aransas? Hey, Loretta Reed. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the story about the shirt here. That's an old shirt, actually. So, 2020, I did my first storm chase with my buddy Phil, and we were chasing Hurricane Delta. We rented a Jeep. Many of y'all were in that trip with the Jeep. We had the power line incident where the power lines almost fell on top of us as they exploded. Came home and I thought, I'm going to get a Jeep. We're going to start storm chasing. And I said, you know what? I already got a truck. I had an 18 Silverado that was already a storm chaser. So I don't know what I was thinking. That was my first trip. I originally never started doing MWP to go into the storm, but the impact, I think, you know, a lot of folks like it. Some don't. That's fine. One story there, though, was crazy. I had to tell you the Motel 6 incident. It was crazy. So we were going back to Houston, and Phil was trying to find a hotel. Now, this is how naive we were. We didn't really know that probably every hotel sold out because everybody evacuated Louisiana and got out of town. Anyway, he called a Motel 6. Yeah, we got a bed. We got 2 beds. We get there. They had a king bed. We're like, I don't care. So me and Phil slept in the big king-size bed. I was reminded of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, the story. Remember? Those aren't pillows. Well, we got out the next morning, and the couple next to me, they were out front of their, loading up their truck, and it was crazy. The lady said, oh, my God, we were watching you. We watched you all last night. You drove by our house. We were tuned into your storm chasing videos. So I get that a lot, but that was a crazy moment to pop out of Motel 6, and the couple next to us that evacuated was watching the show. Well, anyway, I put this picture last night. This is the point of that. So there's my storm chaser truck, and that's an 18. I've had it forever, but I wanted to do my picture last night. I added some lights. Let's take a look at it, Lou. Let's do our thumbnail. Okay. So what I added, I'm so excited about that top light. I had one before, this guy right there, and I am a victim of TikTok shop. And the one that I had before, half the time it didn't work. I had to wiggle it. I had to get up on top and wiggle it, and I could hear the relay trying to set, but it would never click on. Sometimes it worked, sometimes. Then it was an amber light. It wasn't even LED light. Well, I got one of these super duper bright LED light ones, and it absolutely. So I went to a road last night by our house. I was actually shining on a power pole way up in the sky, and it was like daylight. So I got a remote control for it. My bottom light burned out, so I had to rewire that. I added a new one. This one's a little less bright, but it's more 180. Hopefully I like it. I don't know yet. And then the hood light. So there's my storm chaser. So anyway, that's what I was talking about. I just wanted to show you that. All right, what else we got? Weather stem. Thought this was interesting. I'm going to let this play while we talk a little bit. Let me close some windows down. We don't go blow. There we go. All right. Clearwater, Beth, you're my hometown. What's up, Joel? Yeah, it does look pretty cool. Redneck. Yeah, that's your. So, Shelly, the redneck storm chaser is the one I wear every time there's a storm. Because I actually had somebody call me that. I am just a redneck storm chaser. I'm like, okay. So we had that interview with Will from WeatherStem last week. You got one? You got what? What'd you get, Brandy? Thanks, Natalie. So these weather stem cameras, unbelievable. I know we did the interview with Will. You need to go back and look at it because I want to get into the weather. But this is Jacksonville Beach, DeVol, yesterday. But what is so crazy is that you can add anything you want to the graph on the bottom. So here's your wind gust, for example. We didn't have a lot of winds yesterday. Well, we did actually. But you can go to a timestamp and see this moment in time synced to that video frame. So it's so fascinating. I have so much fun with this. Look at that sunrise yesterday. Isn't that beautiful? And you can make it, enlarged. It's pretty wild. We'll get into that again. But, if you're bored, you could set the date back to whenever. Like years, months, and look at the 24-hour time lapse from that time before. So when there's a storm out there, it's kind of neat to look at. So we'll get into that again down the road. Here's a little spinner. Accused me of hype. Mike the hype. Fearmonger. So last week I shared spaghetti models because we had a system that was over Hispaniola last week that was dumping a lot of rain, and it actually ended up going this way. And then it did this. And guess what? That was the models that I showed. And guess what's happening? There it is. A little spinner out there in the Atlantic. You can see it. Big old low pressure. I'm going to wait till the visible and I'm going to post it. And I'm probably going to do some clickbait headlines because I need likes. Why do you say DeVol? Joel, tell me the story of that, because everybody that posted that, is there a meaning behind the DeVol? We got spinach. There it is. Nothing to worry about. It might bring some rain. You can see it right here. If you're not even knowing what I'm talking about, it's right here. Right here. Big old low pressure area. Mid-level low. But it's heading back down south again. It might bring some rain to the islands. Island boy. Crazy, right? All right, so enough of that. What else we got pulled up? This is what it looked like this morning. I posted this laying in bed at 5:15 a.m. Big old low pressure area. It is a cyclone. That's what they call low pressure areas over land are called cyclones. Not tropical cyclone. Cyclone is a low pressure. But look at that low spinning up there around the Great Lakes. And it has a tail all the way down to Texas. It brought some nasty weather through Texas last night, feeding off that warmer heat farther south you go. But that's what it looks like this morning. Big old comma. Crazy, right? Big old low pressure spinning this morning. That's what it looked like. What's coming ahead, though? All right, here it is. Heat. Hey, Bobby Levy. What's up, Harold? Yeah, jumping out at night, standing water dangerous. I know. How you been, Harold? Anyways, how's it going out west? Well, just being Jaguar games. Gotcha. Jaguars. How about the dang Rays, man? Eric, what do you think about the Rays, man? 1-0. 1-0. 1-0. Can't we score a run? So I try to be positive. Told my dad, I'm like, we only gave up 1 run yesterday. Our pitching's awesome. And yeah, Joel, right. Jacksonville, DeVol, right. Isn't Jacksonville like the largest city in the United States? Because the whole county is considered city limits, right? Eden, what's up? All right, heat. All right, so what is an anomaly map? Well, it takes weather from the last 20 years. I don't know if this one's the last, includes 2021 usually, or 25. I don't know. Some of them are 81 to 30. I don't know. It's a 20-year sample. This one doesn't tell you what 20 years. But it's either the last 20 or the 20 before the last 10. Point of it is, it's just the last 20. It's not the last 1,000 or 10,000. No, I'm talking about what we're used to in the last 10, 20, 30 years. Anyway, this big old map here that I put the H on, this is a 500 millibar anomaly map, basically showing the high, 0 is the mean, middle high pressure, 500 millibar pressure. And it's just hot, it's just hotter, higher, deeper, more of a dome, heat dome. So we got this high pressure locked in. And it's windy. People talk about it. March was one of the windiest Marches on record, believe it or not. It was windy. We took the boat out the other day. Holy crap, it was bad. I mean, not dangerous bad, but just the winds. And yesterday when I got up on the back porch, it was blowing from the west, or east to west, coming across that Atlantic, across the state. And really coming up the upper Gulf, man, feeding. So, man, we've had a lot of wind. And then your 6 to 10 day temperature outlook that puts you into the end of the month, basically everybody's above average. What this does, this high pressure system, it just basically blocks. It's a blocker. And there we go. There it is right there. So basically it's a big old block. So nothing really can come down far as cold air. It just kind of pushes fronts. So that's what we're in. Hot until May. I know it's hot. It's April. It's dry. I know that. Storms today. Here's the latest. That little spinner that I showed you. Whipping up that tail. Shrimp tail. There's your storms today. Nothing too severe, but we could see some sneaky little stuff. But it's not expected to be too bad. But it goes all the way from the Gulf all the way up to the Canada today. Tomorrow, new round starts. We got a little leftover lingering tomorrow. All right, so our low is going to end up lifting out of here. Our low goes out of here, but guess what? Some of this stuff is going to be tagging along, and in daytime heating tomorrow, we could see some storms across Carolinas on Tuesday. New line starts up on Wednesday or Tuesday there. Wednesday, middle part. Look at nothing in the south and east. That's all the way to Wednesday. Fire danger. Could have a little bit of fire trouble again across the Florida Peninsula. Again, high pressure blowing across the state. Hot, dry, low humidity, and not a lot of moisture in the air. So we're going to have another increased fire risk midweek to watch. Temperatures, let's just see what it's going to look like the next 10 days. Anything red, if you're not colorblind, apologize if you are. At least the numbers are halfway kind of there. But red is 80. And you can just pretty much see. Just kind of lingers. 90. Oh, man, look at that. We got 92 showing on Thursday. 91 in Valdosta. You wouldn't think about Valdosta having hurricane effects, but they got Valdosta. You think living in Florida is bad. Ask anybody who lives in Valdosta. They had Idalia come up. Well, I'm sure they had Michael damage too, but just in the last few years, Debbie, Idalia, Helene, all these storms, and then Christine, right? Well, too far to the west, but I talked to a lot of locals up there, and Furman set up their fast team last year, helping folks out with their generators. Brenda, I am ready. I'm ready for hurricane season. Hey, your daughter had their senior prom, Harold. Great. Bolts tomorrow. And they start, right? Playoffs. I'll be watching that for sure. David, we didn't get an early tropical storm this year, not yet. But hey, we've had a lot of them in the months of May. A lot of them. It's rare to not have a named storm. It's very rare to not have a storm in May, believe it or not, even though the season's June 1st. We've had a lot of systems in May. We've had a lot of them in April. A lot in May, though. And they're usually harmless. Most of the time, they don't even impact anybody. Usually they're old frontal lines in the Western Atlantic that go off to the Northeast. Sometimes they're down there in the Gulf and end up coming up and be a big rainmaker. These old fronts linger. They hang around that backside of that high pressure area down on the lower side sometimes, and they get wrapped up around that high and come up, get a front coming down, and they pull up from the Caribbean a little bit or the Gulf, and they have an opening to come around and possibly be a sloppy, sheared rainmaker. We'll see. Nothing's showing up right now. But they happen. It's happened before. All right, so Thursday's hot. Here's Friday, even hotter. God, we might even actually have, we got some 90 upper, we have close to 100 in lower Texas. 90s all over the southeast on Friday. Saturday, same. Got 90s into way up into Georgia on Saturday. Sunday, 90s now in the Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana a little bit. It's just going to hang around. Hey, summer's here. Welcome, summer. Look at us. Look at these 90s. Oh my God, we got 90s every day here. Isn't that crazy? Moisture. Then I want to show you another cool site that I just thought about it. A couple of things. All right, so let's look at rain. And let's focus on the southeast because that's the ones that need it. All right, so here's rainfall accumulation. This goes out 10 days. Carolinas, we can get some. Remember we were talking about for tomorrow? Maybe some even into Wednesday, Thursday. So Carolinas need it. They're going to get some. That's rainfall through Friday morning. And then we get into next weekend. Here's rainfall through Saturday. I mean, there's nothing. You talk about a blocking high pressure system. That is nuts. And I know it's not our rainy season, but when you compare it to averages, we aren't this low. Next, all the way to next Monday. So we'll go out 10 days. 10 days. Nothing. For the next 10 days. Isn't that nuts? Need weather in a nutshell. David Berryhill, what's up, buddy? Good morning, Bob. Hey, Shelly whipping out the fun facts. AI is fun now. We could have all kinds of quickie things. I'd be like, we need an AI bot. Less typing, more data. So I want to show you this cool link on the site. Nobody knows about all these stuff. All right, so on the very top, you can type in your location. Let's do Oldsmar. I had somebody on Twitter yesterday. You should just do Oldsmar. All you do is talk about Oldsmar. I'm like, I think I've talked about other areas a few times. So you just type up your town. It's kind of zoomed in right now. Let me go smaller. There's your National Weather Service forecast. It updates several times a day. Officially 90, 92, 92. Low's still 68 though. That's crazy. Enjoy that. High temperature 90, 91, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90. Look at that. No rain, 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 no rain. But the cooler link that I got is underneath it. Nobody knows about this one. NWS forecast points right here. Ready? Right there. Click on that one. And this is even neater. This has all kinds of information. So it pinpoints to Tampa, but you can change it obviously where you're at. But what's amazing about this little guy, that's the box it's default to. You can move it around, zoom in, zoom out, whatever. I'll just do Oldsmar, what the heck. So you click over here and you get a new little pointer. Boop. And you can obviously do this wherever you're at, not just here. But this is what it pops up. Look at this. And you can scroll on every one of these things. Your winds, your gusts, the direction, the precipitation, dew points. Remember, 60 plus dew points are not ideal. 65. Yeah. Once you get close to 65 to 70 dew point, that doesn't feel good at all. Severe thunderstorms expected. And this is even really zoomed in here. You can go table hour wise. So every time you guys ask me, hey, is it going to rain Wednesday at 6 p.m.? Well, I can either do that for you or you can. But look at this, Friday all the way to Saturday. And look at these high temperatures, 92 heat index on Saturday of next week. That's Friday, actually. Same one. Well, Saturday's 90. Big difference. So anyway, pretty wild, right? You got graphs, hourly graphs, heat index graphs, wind direction graphs, thunder graphs. So anyway, kind of like that one. Let's look at some long range stuff here. 6 to 10 day outlook. We talked about that earlier. Here's your 8 to 14 day outlook. It's still above average on the left side there. Precipitation average 6 to 10 day. It says normal. I don't know if I believe that. How can it be normal if we have 0? Well, I guess that means 0 is normal. Week 3 to week 4 outlook. This is the one that you got to look at more. Is just the pattern that we're in. Strong high pressure. This is all the way to May 6th, all the way to May. Below average. Seasonal outlook. Drought. These are monthly outlook. Droughts. 1 month outlook. Below. Heat's above. So this is May. Continuing to be above normal in the southeast for temperatures in May. Low below average rainfall in May. 3 month outlook. So that's above average. That's through July. Who the hell can predict that far out? I don't know. Still going to be hot. That's about it. No long-range storms, really. Nothing too severe. I know there was a lot of talk about first part of May and the long-range outlooks, but I'm like most of y'all. Some of that stuff never pans out, so I don't even know. History tells you it's going to be stormy. Weather changes fast. Let's look at some long-range severe stuff here. Day 8. Everything's middle country. This is next Sunday, Monday. This could be a little stormy weather come. I guess it's probably next Saturday, 27th. Well, the 27th. Could be a little stormy weather. Well, here, let's just do it. Here's today. Tomorrow, new system. Tuesday. Wednesday. Thursday. Next big system starting to really show up now. There's Friday, this week coming up. And then Saturday, 27th. Could be little storms there. And then it starts all over again. That's normal stuff, though. Let's see. CSU, we can look at some 6-day charts. Or 8-day charts, actually. There's your storms for the next 8 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We got a little bit down in Florida on Wednesday. There, what is going Wednesday? I did see the rain chances pop up a little bit more on the southeast for Wednesday, Thursday. So let's take a look at tropical tidbits. Zoom in on the Euro. There's a little frontal line, maybe. I don't know. It's very scattered. I don't know. It's tricky because when you have 0 rain forecast, but yet you see possibility of severe, it means there's just enough moisture in the air. In fact, I say stuff I don't even know. Well, let's take a look. There's probably a little bit of precipitation in the air, just enough that we could have a little random pop thunderstorm or something. So that's my theory. Let's take a look here. Why the models say we could see some severe weather when there's 0 chance of rain. Probably because we just have... All right, here we go. Moment of truth. So anything green and yellow is a little increased moisture. There's my theory. There's Wednesday. So 1 inch plus P watt. And there's Thursday. So we have a little bit of moisture in the air. But, man, it's just still a lot of dry air. And then this is next Monday. So, I mean, there is a little bit of moisture in the air. That's why the humidity was up. If you go back to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, here's Wednesday. Here's your humidity's up to 80s now. See, look at that. It's in the 40s on Tuesday. A little high on Tuesday. I guess it's still high, but Tuesday. But there's more moisture in the air. Dew point 65. No rainfall though, so I don't know. Well, there you go. There's 4% chance of rain on Thursday. We have a 4% chance of rain on Thursday. A little bit more on Friday, 10%. Humidity up to 88% on Saturday. We got more humidity in the morning on Saturday and the weekends. That's crazy. It's weird. It's weird. That the winds, things are stagnant in the morning, so we have higher humidity in the mornings. That's kind of fascinating if you think about it. 80% humidity is in the mornings. And then daytime heating comes across and we have all that hot air blowing across the state. And it actually lowers the humidity. That's a fascinating little tidbit I never really paid attention to. Higher humidity in the morning. That's foggy, steamy. And then by the end of the day, we get less humidity across the day as the winds and the heat more than anything. 69, high humidity. 91, 36% humidity. That's only for where I'm at. That's why we have high fire risk on Wednesday. The west central parts of the state are dry. So anyway, enough of that. I'm thinking out loud. James, my man, how's Karen doing? David wants to know, are they ever going to start the season in May? There's been a lot of chatter about that. I really don't know why they don't, honestly. I think they like the 6-month window. June 1st to November 30th is exactly 6 months. What's ironic is on May 15th, they start their daily National Hurricane Center outlook. So the outlooks begin on May 15th, but the actual season... I think we had a named system before June in like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23. We didn't have one last year. It was like the first time in forever that we didn't have a named system before June 1st last year. And you know what? Last year was a year a lot of folks want to forget. So that is it. And I tell you what happens if we get an early season name, it's bonkers. The media hype. Because the assumption is it's going to be a busy season. Doesn't mean anything. We had a 23. We had Idalia, and I think that was the year we had the hurricane in January. So everybody was like, "What? Hurricane in January?" Yeah, we had a hurricane in January. But it was. Let's take a look. I think it was 20. I don't know. Yeah, unnamed tropical storm. No, it's a tropical storm. What year did we have the hurricane in January? Shelly will find it for me. I thought it was called Alex. Hurricane. She's probably typing it now, and I'm sitting here doing it. ...2016. Oh my God. Jeez, I thought it was last year, man. I'm getting old. But we did have a system in January in 23. Also. And it formed the same spot pretty much Alex did off the Atlantic East Coast. And 23, pretty much Idalia was the big one that year. But, you know, we still had a system in January. 16 was the year we had the Hurricane Alex. I don't know if I can open it. It says PDF. Oh, these are all files. I'm downloading files now. How about that for a tidbit? I don't know. Morning, Miss Tammy Harvick. How you doing? That's about it for me. 10 o'clock. Hey, I made it. Any questions? How's the Brew Crew doing? We'll hang out there for a little bit. 13% chance of rain. You going to Disney, Bob? I haven't been in so long. Kind of miss it a little bit. Adam, 100%. The high pressure definitely helps warm sea surface temperatures. 100%. It wasn't that long ago, man. It was 60s here in the Gulf. I mean, it does. You do get some upwelling, though. The stronger the winds, you do get some upwelling. Some temporary upwelling. So, to answer your question, yes and no. Because this high pressure is so strong, we're getting a little bit more winds than normal. The winds upwell cooler water. Very weird, right? So we have a lot of sunshine, a lot of lack of rain, but the winds also offset that sometimes. So we're not seeing any 82s yet. We see 81, 80. Gulf. So we were out in a boat, and it was about 77 yesterday, this weekend. 80 down close to the Keys. The big factor is the underwater temperatures, and Brian McNulty's site has this, and I like this. Ocean heat content is the one. Ocean heat content gives you averages of where we're at. That's too big of a region, the main development region. I like to keep it a little bit more in the Caribbean. So currently we are above the 11, 12-year average in the blue line, starting from 13 to 24. Last year we were really warm. That's why we had these hyperactive hurricane forecasts, because the pinkish line was where we were at as far as anomaly goes. This is your ocean heat content below the surface. However, 23 started out below the average, and it ended up going. 23 is a darker maroon line. All the other years, 22 to 13 are gray. 23, I know if you're colorblind, again, I'm sorry. The darker is 23, the lighter pink is 24. And right now we're currently above 23. It really makes a difference here where we're at. This is the water below the surface. This is basically, they say, rocket fuel. Rocket man. And then the Gulf is so hard to really understand. It's such a tight little gradient. But we are a little low below normal in the Gulf right now. But also last year, look at last year. I mean, this is so tough to really see. Even last year, we were kind of below. So we really won't know till May when things take off. And you can see last year, 24, it was hot right here. And that was basically rain. One thing that ocean heat content does, it allows to a lot of moisture, a lot of rain. We saw that, a lot of rain. Notice Idalia last year, or 23, kind of took away a lot of the power, but last year this is 24 last year. So really we're going to get a sense of what we were at in June and July. if we're above average or not. But again, it doesn't, it doesn't take away the fact we can still get one. But I think we obviously know this region here is the one to watch as far as rapid intensification goes. The main development region as a whole, this is the wider scope of things. Basically, we're above average on the whole area, but there's pockets that are lower, pockets that are higher, but we are above 23, but below 24. Last year, it was all that chit chat about we were so far above normal. That's why we had a lot of hype last season. We only ended up with 18 storms last year only, but it was predicted to be in the upper 20s. Like we were going to run out of names last year, but everybody predicted the names in the 20s past the W, and we didn't get there. We got 18. So was that a bust season? Because we had less storms last year, does it really matter how many storms we have? But a lot of the preseason predictions was because of that water temperature last year. This year, we're above 23. 23 had 20 storms in 2023. And look where the water temperature was in 20. And we ended up with more storms in 23. Water skyrocketed, and then we ended up with a lot of storms. So we really don't know. Don't know. Nobody knows. Honeymoon Island, Chris, 74 is cold. Hey, James. Oh, 100% James. Make sure you email me. Mike'sWeatherPage@gmail, and then I'll give you my personal email. It'll be on something called Game Changer, which is really fun to watch. She's really excited. St. Pete on Thursday, boat day. Adam, there you go, buddy. That'll be fun. So what else we got? Anything else good? I like some questions. Keep me honest. So Hurricane Expo Saturday. Don't forget our good friends at Furman Power Equipment for donating that. I'm excited to be teaming up with Storm Smart this year. Great crew. Didn't realize how many MWPs use their products. They're based in Florida, but specifically here on the Florida West Coast. And so many of y'all chimed in and said you love their products. So we're going to be doing a lot more talking about their roll down patio protections and window protections and hurricane protections and shutters. And they do a lot of donations and charities, and they're a really good company. I got the link on the web page there, and like I was saying, these storm catcher screens that so many people have downloaded, and I saw videos of Hurricane Ian that these things were incredible, like all the way to Cat 5, and how easy they are to, and most of the time they're remote control. They just come right down. You could be in Michigan and hit a button on your phone and they come down and protect your whole back patio area. So anyway, good stuff. Thanks for their support. It takes a lot of great support. Keep doing what we love to do, and we really appreciate that. Because gas ain't cheap. All right, Carolina weather. Yeah, you got some rain coming this week, David Berryhill. I saw that. In the next couple of days, you're going to have a few good chances of rain through the week for you guys. And I know you need it too. The drought isn't as bad as it is here, but it is bad. Sarah, come here. Say hi to Sarah. She's off school today. Here is the latest for the Carolinas and the Southeast. This is your Thursday drought index map. These come out on Thursday. A lot of areas are in D1. A couple of pockets of D2 across the coastal areas of South Carolina and North Carolina and in Northern Virginia there. But really, the area that sticks out like a sore thumb. Isn't that funny how Florida kind of looks like that? South Florida, Everglades area. And we don't have a lot coming in the next few months or weeks, it is. So there's that. Okay, when you go to the website, listen, if you want to know the next time we're live, May 15th, we're beginning daily, Monday through Friday. Okay, now there'll be times that I'm out of town or this and that, but 99% of the time we're going to be live Monday through Friday. It's been that way forever. Monday through Friday, 9:19 Eastern, okay, streaming live on Facebook, X, TikTok, and YouTube. You can see when our next Daily Brew is right here simply on the very top of my page. Next Daily Brew will switch over to Wednesday here in a second, right there. You can watch it on mwpchat.com and mingle with all of our fellow brew crewers. Subscribe, be an MWB brew crewer. Tomorrow I'm taking a tour of the Margaritaville, Shelly. I don't know if I told you, but me and Kim are heading over there tomorrow because we're already starting to talk about the 2025 Mike's Fleur Page cruise here and possibly coming out of Tampa Bay on the Margaritaville. So we're already talking about next year. We're totally excited about this year, but we got to plan ahead. You know, everything's about that. So tomorrow I'll be doing that. But we're going to be live on Wednesday, and we'll be live on Friday. So there you go. Karaoke Queen didn't come out and say hi, so. There you go. All right. No, Tiffany. Nobody got mad. Yep. Seriously, I mean, it's a really good question, Tiffany. Somebody asked me a couple years now. You know, a lot of the temperature gradients, wind gradients are in color, and so they, you know, the Storm Prediction Center has gotten better with putting the names with the color lines, so the color lines are distinct. You know, so. I never noticed the clocks are 5 o'clock. Yeah, she kind of popped it up. I had to work around softball and stuff. So, all right. Well, hope you all have a great Monday. Hope you got a little bit of information and entertainment. Our little weather family. Thanks to all those. By the way, I just put that link out for our friend Chris that we're trying to donate to. We're almost up to $500. Hoping to at least get him $1,000, and we're going to head down there and give him a MWP check. He lost everything during Hurricane Milton. And, you know, doesn't buy a lot, but it'll help a little bit. And neighbors helping neighbors. All right. So that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you Wednesday. I guess they call that hump day.